What's up, guys? I'm randomfrankp, back with episode 275 of Room Tour Project, the long forgotten series where we show off some of the best setups to give you some ideas and inspiration for your own setup. If you see anything you could like in today's episode, I'll have all the gear and hardware listed for you in the description down below in case you want to check it out if you're interested in adding it to your setup. But we'll kick it off now. 275.
First up today, we have Ethan with a triple monitor setup, 2 as the overhead and the primary, completing the trio. Really digging the use of the Govee light bars behind the monitors in addition to the actual monitor light bar up top to act as that sort of desk lamp. And obviously, lots of nods to Star Wars. Great job with symmetry as well for the setup, so really liking the way this is coming together. For his primary display on the bottom, it's an LG 34-inch Ultra Gear, 1440p, 165Hz, with those two overhead monitors being a 27-inch from Gigabyte. Also peep the speakers on each side of his monitor on the bottom. From Edifier, they're the R1280T. For the rest of his peripherals, his keyboard is a custom. It's the Bakaneko 60, apologize if I butcher that, with lubed ice candy switches and GMK Space Cadet keycaps, going along with the Razer DeathAdder V3 Pro. Not pictured for audio are his HD 58X Jubilee headphones to go along with the Elgato Stream Deck Plus, which is a killer desktop companion. Now, over to the PC, this is the Leon Lee O11 dynamic case. Inside, he's rocking a Ryzen 7 3700X CPU with the NZXT Kraken X73 AIO, an Asus ROG B550F motherboard, 32 gigs of HyperX Predator RAM, and an EVGA RTX 3080 for the GPU. So all in all, definitely getting those Vader vibes, lots of red and the dark aesthetic here to go along with the whole room. But if he wants to switch it up, he can also go all out in blue, which makes it look completely different. And it's just changing the RGB lights. Funny how that works, but really digging the setup here from Ethan. Now we've got M hitting us with a setup straight out of a dream. This looks gorgeous. From top to bottom, left to right, whatever you want to say, this just looks amazing. Definitely a Pokemon fan, as you could tell from the excess of collector's items and plushies and all that stuff. But I really like when I see rooms like this that just really lean into what the person's really into. That's what really makes a setup. Also helps when it looks as nice as this one does. So he's rocking a bunch of stuff from GroveMade. We're talking the desk shelf, the desk tray, the dock, the headphone stand, the riser. Everything here for this desk is from GroveMade. So now for his displays, his primary monitor is an Asus ROG Strix XG32VQR. Definitely a killer monitor for that. With the left side vertical monitor being from Asus, their Tough Gaming 27-inch monitor, with the Wacom Cintiq Pro 32 for the graphics tablet, right there in the front. That lays on the desk as his keyboard lays on top of that, which is the Razer Huntsman Elite. Also has the Razer Basilisk Ultimate for his mouse, and a bunch of Razer gear in the setup like the Nari Ultimate, the Tartarus V2, the Black Widow V3 Pro, and shout out to Elgato with their Stream Deck. That's 2 Elgato items so far. I mentioned the Nari Ultimate, but also for his speakers, which are pictured in the wide shot of the setup. From Kanto, they're the YU4. Now over to the PC. Inside the ROG Strix Helios case is an Intel i9 10900K CPU with the ROG Ryujin 360 RGB AIO on an ROG Maximus 12 Extreme motherboard, 32 gigs of Corsair Dominator Platinum RGB RAM, and you guessed it, the ROG Strix RTX 3090 GPU. So pretty much a beast of an ROG Strix PC with then all Razer peripherals. There's definitely a lot going on, and it's really easy for a setup to be, just visually overcrowded, but in this case, it still all comes together really nice. Everything has its spot. Again, with all those GroveMade shelves and risers, things get tucked away. It just makes the setup look complete in unison, and it looks banging. And then from an alternative universe, we have Macxis, with a similar setup to the one we just showed off, but this one more on that clean side with lots of natural light and plants, really honing into that. So I'm liking the way this looks with all those earthy tones and stuff, complemented by the wallpaper as well. So Macxis, for his primary display, is rocking a Redmi 34-inch ultra-wide monitor at 144Hz with a Dell U2417H as the left side vertical display. And 3 for 3 so far, a monitor light bar up top. These things are taking over setups, I swear. For his peripherals, he has 2 different sets that he uses and changes them out, with a Keychron V2 as his primary keyboard that has Apollo Cherry clone keycaps with the Logitech G Pro wireless mouse. Also, the ranked Nova 60 keyboard, which you can swap out then with the Logitech MX Master 3S mouse. All of which follow that gray neutral tone here on that felt mouse pad. For audio on the left side of the desk, his headset is the Logitech G Pro X. I do think some white Kanto desktop speakers would look really nice with this setup, by the way. And I really dig the palette and the tones of the art around the room. Also has one of the IKEA Scottish pegboards and that like dark emerald green colorway to hold another keyboard. Really loving the aesthetic of this stuff. Helps keep clutter off the desk. Now, for the PC, this is the Cooler Master NR200P case. Inside's an AMD Ryzen 5 5600X CPU. With a Cooler Master Hyper 212 Black Edition cooler, one of the all-time GOATs, 16 gigs of Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro RAM, on an Asus ROG Strix B550i gaming motherboard, with an EVGA RTX 2060 XC Ultra graphics card. Again, this setup is just really tied together by the earthy tones, I think. I love the bright walls with the natural sunlight coming in, that nice dark wooden desk, highlighted by the lots of green that you threw in as well to sprinkle in some color with the plants, the book on the desk, the pegboard, all looking great. Now, hot damn. Jerome, teach me your ways. This looks gorgeous. It's everything, everywhere all at once. This setup is just everything anyone could possibly want. And I know I bring it up, people might roll their eyes because it's such a simple term, but symmetry here is what makes this so visually appealing, despite all the crazy hardware and gear it still has going on. Let's dive in. Jerome's rocking an LG 34-inch ultra-wide, the GN850, actually the panels that I use at my setup as well, with a UPerfect 14-inch portable monitor on that bottom as like a reference monitor. Affordable way for some extra monitor real estate. Dare I say we're 4 for 4 on monitor light bars. And then down to his, his peripherals. I shouldn't leave that on a cliffhanger. We have the Owlab Mr. Suit keyboard. This is glorious. Inside are drop Holy Panda switches with a GMK Apollo keycap set and the Logitech MX Master 3 mouse. And underneath the monitor riser is a ton of gear in the back, as you can see. Got like the Elgato Stream Deck, a Go XLR Mini, some more macro pads, the Jotunheim headphone amp, which is going to be powering his Audeze LCD-X headphones, and that crazy microphone you're looking at, that ain't cheap. That's the Lewitt 540S. Also, those massive desktop speakers are actually studio monitors. They're the Atom Audio T7V. This guy knows his audio. He knows everything when it comes to this hardware. This is some serious gear. Unfortunately, no pics of inside the PC. This case is the SUPT Meshlicious case. Inside's a Ryzen 9 7900X CPU, an RTX 3080 Founders Edition, but yeah, just hanging here on the side of the desk. And it's great how with hanging the grid on the wall for headphone storage there with the lights and the shelves for extra keyboard storage, it's not only serving a function, keeping stuff off the desk and putting it on display, but in this case, it acts as just more visual decor to the room. It still looks so good. Didn't even get to mention it, but his desk is a 74-inch Home Depot Birch Butcher Block countertop, custom-made desk shelf as well, and this is so delicious. It's meshlicious. Bad callback. But no, really, Jerome, this is a hell of a setup. I absolutely love this. This is jaw-dropping. Then we have Zachary today with the stacked monitors here for his main setup. We also have a racing rig over on the right side of the room. And check out those rims with some plants coming out of them, adding some more decor to the theme of the setup, which is obviously cars, auto, racing, all that good stuff. I'll say it again, a perfect example of symmetry, but also the first setup today with no monitor light bar. That's okay, we'll live. Both those monitors are the same panel. They're an LG 27-inch in that stacked orientation. For the peripherals, he's rocking the GMMK Pro keyboard in that silver finish here, black and white peripherals with a G Pro X Superlight mouse. Speakers in the corner are the Edifier MR4. And also for audio, hanging underneath the desk, again, keeping that desktop nice and clean, is the Corsair HS80 wireless headset, practically blending in with the black Alex drawers here. Not really any information provided on the racing rig, but convenience is key because I assume it's running directly off of the PC right to the left side there. So it's set up really well where he could sit at his main desktop and game and then kick over to the right side for the racing rig. Again, shared by the PC, which is the Fantex P600S. Inside's a Ryzen 5 7600X CPU with an EK360 Elite AIO, 16 gigs of G-Skill Trident Z5 Neo RAM on a Gigabyte Aorus Master B650E motherboard with an XFX RX 6750 XT graphics card, the most unnecessary naming scheme of a GPU. Zachary, I really like what you did here. Again, great symmetry. You span the monitor wallpaper, the cars on the shelf, and the photos are inverted. So again, just adding to that symmetry. I will say though, I think the plants out of the rims is a little bit overdoing it. I think it would look a lot cleaner if they weren't there, just to sort of highlight that nice polish the rims would have. Not criticism, just constructive feedback for you.
This episode is sponsored by Corsair iCUE. Build better and smarter with the Corsair iCUE Link System Hub, a single controller that syncs and manages all your RGB hardware and your system cooling. Using just one hub, you can chain 14 different components from fans, coolers, power supplies, and more, so everything is neatly controlled without the bulk of excess cables. Additionally, the iCUE Link helps sync your system RGB lighting in all your Corsair products with ease and uses built-in temperature sensors for more detailed system monitoring all throughout your build. Check out Corsair and the iCUE Link ecosystem with the link in the description down below. Alright guys, that'll wrap it up for episode 275 of Room Tour Project. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you still enjoy the series as well. Reminder, if you saw anything you liked from today's episode, I'll have it all listed for you in the description down below so you can check it out. If you like this episode, let me know. Give it a big thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on X at randomfrankp. And lastly, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a good day.